complete tangent because I just need to bring this up because this has been on my mind for the past 2 weeks now, and I'm just dumbfounded.
You know
So
what? Me too. Fade, why are you such a beach? Nah, let me stop. Go ahead.
damn.
Damn, that's crazy. That's wild. I just got here, bro. I haven't did nothing with none of
Um.
you.
So why? So you have not played the Call of Duty game, right?
I have played a Call of Duty game.
Okay, but you're definitely like you're not mucking with
I'm
that shit.
not. Yeah, nah. First, FPSs aren't my shit.
All right, bet. All right. Faye, what about you?
I think I stopped after like Black Ops 2. I was like, yeah, this ain't it for me no more.
That's fair. That's fair. So, um, the Modern Warfare 3 beta drop, and I'll be the first to tell you. You know, I don't care what anybody says. I might try to be positive about that game. It's literally just $70 expansion pack. It is Modern Warfare 2.5. It's the same fucking game. It's been the same fucking game for as long as I remember.
I was about to
This coming
say,
from a
like, are you
person.
just talking about Call of Duty in general? That sounds like.
Oh, I like. Here's the thing: Call of Duty has always been the same game, but Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, how same they are, is even more embarrassing than it's been in the past. Like they made it way too obvious this time.
God damn.
But that's not what I'm talking about. This is the thing that I'm talking about. This is what bothers me. This is what like gets me. I got a question for both of you guys. Have you ever heard of anyone talk about how they like the Call of Duty series and they only play the campaign mode and that's it?
That would be me. If I played Call
Well,
of Duty, I would be in the campaign mode.
You would be in
honestly,
okay, so here's the thing. That's fair, but I'm meaning like you like it and you only play every Call of Duty game. Like you specifically
Oh
buy
no!
these
Oh no!
games.
No!
oh
No! No!
no, oh
No! No!
no,
No! 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 It buy
that
it
ain't it.
for the
That ain't it.
campaign? No.
For the campaign.
No. Yeah, you see how that nigga laugh? Like, yo, what? What are you doing?
Okay. Okay. I'm about to and I know they're not gonna see this. If they do, I'm sorry. I love y'all. But I got some friends that they are getting the new game that's coming out in like a few weeks.
Okay.
Their first game was Modern Warfare 2. And they only
The first Modern
they
Warfare 2?
oh, no
The
remake.
original.
No,
Okay.
Oh, the remake.
last year's.
Oh man.
And they always love it. They love it for just the campaign. They don't touch anything else, just the campaign.
Now, to be fair,
Mm-hmm.
Modern Warfare 2's campaign is goated. But
Are we talking about the original or are we talking about last year's?
are they not the same?
They're pretty different.
Then, like the changes to the story and shit. Like,
There are some changes to the story.
is it the same story but different, or is it like
Nah,
on some MK? It's not. It's a different story.
it's basically a different story, but
Why?
these motherfuckers had the nerve enough. I kid you not. These motherfuckers had the absolute gall. So for everybody around our age who has played the old school Modern Warfare 2, that story is goated.
Because that is
It's
the only.
goated for a
That's the
lot of
only one
reasons.
I've played. When I said
Yeah,
I
you know
played
what?
a Modern War, I mean
It was that one.
Call of Duty game. It's that one.
But the little bit of memory lane for all the new heads out there that's probably new to the series say this shit sucks. I'm sorry, but y'all don't know the golden age of Call of Duty. Like the series was ass after Black Ops 2. All right, that's kind of just facts at this point. It's not even an opinion no more. The original Call of Duty story from Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3 was actually like really fucking good. That shit was goated, especially 2, for a lot of reasons. The biggest one being that everybody talks about still to this day, the Shepard betrayal.
Yeah.
Everybody still talks about that because of how shocking it was, and it was just insane.
Fade, you said you replayed No Russian. With,
Oh no!
with knife only.
you modded the Russians for grannies.
Hey yo, roll.
You said there was grandmas in that airport. You couldn't let that slide.
And yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up too. Like the no Russian mission, like Modern Warfare 2 is memorable for those specific reasons, right? The new game does not focus on that. However, there is a Shepard betrayal. Is nowhere near as good, and everybody survives it. So there's really like no big impact to it anymore.
So they retcon that part of the
They
original.
retconned that little
Bro,
point.
how do you
in there.
retcon the best?
Yeah. Yeah. Now the cutscene was good. Now here's one thing I'll give credit for the new games. Cutscenes wise, they look movie quality.
Yeah,
They're
look
really good.
fire.
They're
I remember
fantastic.
seeing those.
They're fantastic. I'm not even gonna take that away from them. But like
But I don't
in
remember
terms
that.
of plot,
I don't
in
remember
terms of
anybody
plot,
living. Them niggas live.
them niggas did not live. It was only Soap and Price that survived that shit. And Soap almost got. But everybody survived this one. So you do this, right? And people like the scene. I mean, the scene looks cool, but like in terms of plot, it just doesn't make any sense. At the end of the day, these Call of Duty games now, they take the most basic fucking movie plots. Like I can go watch like fucking White Hawk Down or some shit. And I say White Hawk Down because Black Hawk Down is actually a good movie, but still, like some nigga can make like White Hawk Down or some shit. It's like a basic military plot.
that don't sound like it's on Tubi.
White Hawk Down. But I can watch a military movie that someone makes, some random military B-list movie that someone can make in a movie theater. I can grab that plot, I can put it into Call of Duty. That's what they do with these fucking games now. My two friends, their first game was last year's Modern Warfare 2. And they say the series is goated, not for the story, but for the characters.
What?
What?
Mm.
Huh?
They have told me how
Huh? I'm sorry.
How
Do you
interesting
mean?
of
Do
a-
you mean just what's dude's name with the mask? Ghost?
Ghost,
That's literally the only character in the game.
the quiet nigga that's only cool because of his fit, not because of how he is as a person, but because of a fit. I understand people like Captain Price, but like
Right,
they're
no,
not
no
going to.
disrespect. What about Soap?
No,
That
Soap
nigga's-
too. No, I'm giving credit for everybody. I'm
that
giving
nigga's
credit for
name is
everybody,
Soap.
but it's like no, Soap's cool. Soap's cool,
No,
but it's like
I'm sorry, but his name is Soap.
his name is Soap.
It's like if you had a
True.
homie named Thaddeus.
Damn.
Exactly.
Hey,
Yeah, that's my
you
man
relax.
Thad right there. But it's just mind-boggling to me because when have you ever heard anybody talk about the characters or the reason why they play Call of Duty?
That is
It just
literally
doesn't
the least important
exist.
part of Call
The
of
least
Duty.
important part in the game is the part that got you into the series, and it's crazy too because they show me and they want to show me on TikTok how there's a fucking little small minority community of people that play a story. I'm like, here's the thing.
What
And
do
I
you
had to
mean
correct him.
minority? I'm sorry.
Hey man. But I had to correct him. I'm like, look, there are fans that do like the story. I'm not saying you're wrong in that. What I am saying you're wrong is that there are not people that only play the story. This game has multiple different modes. I've been trying to tell them the entire time. I'm like, do you not realize how insane this sounds? You're willing to pay $70 for just the campaign. You're wasting money, bro. You're wasting fucking money. First of all, why are you even supporting this game in the first place? Because like you doing that, you're making these niggas know that like they're not doing anything wrong when they clearly are. Number
Shout
one.
out to 2K.
Shout out to 2K. Shout out to Madden. Shout out to FIFA. Shout out to Assassin's Creed.
Shout out to
Anyway,
Oh,
shout out to
I guess
W.
that's
Far
2K.
Cry. Shout out to Far
Shout out
Cry.
to Far Cry. Shout out to Far Cry.
Shout out to Far Cry. Shout out to Far Cry. But like, that's my biggest problem is and when I showed them multiplayer, I played one game of Headquarters, right? They looked at me, they were like, I don't know if I can get into this. This looks chaotic. I'm like, then why the fuck are you playing a Call of Duty game? Like, why? Why would you? Why on earth?
Game, bro.
Yeah, and they told me like I had one friend who literally told me, I don't play games for the gameplay. I'm playing for a story. I'm like,
What did
okay,
you
Wait,
I'm not kidding. I'm not bullshitting. I'm not bullshitting.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
I don't play, but here's the thing. She said, I don't play games for the gameplay. I play them for the story. So when she said that, I was like, okay, that's fair. Why are you buying these games then? You know you can just go on YouTube. You know you can just watch people play the
That's
game.
facts.
You know you can just watch cutscenes.
Right.
Like if you're interested in the story that much, You
Just watch
don't
that
need
shit
to
on
put
YouTube.
$70 into it. You just watch that shit on YouTube. That's
Word.
what makes this so much easier for a lot of people. You don't have to waste that cash because $70 is a lot of fucking money for just cutscenes. That's
Just
what
a
you're
lot.
interested in. Like,
Right.
I'm trying to
He
help
said
you out.
just
You know what she says? You know what she says? But I want to play the game. But you just said you don't like the gameplay.
Well, she said she's not interested in the gameplay. Because I can understand. I can understand because I also play games for the story. I play mostly for the gameplay. Because if the game's not good, I'm not progressing from the story. Then I'll watch that shit on YouTube. But there is a difference between watching the cutscenes on YouTube and actually going through the game. Like, it's like you see the cutscenes, but you don't see the shit that led up to it in some games. Like that, like in RPGs, you got your big cutscenes, but they don't necessarily show, like in God of War, for example, the dialogue when you're traveling, headed somewhere.
I mean, I guess, but it's just when you okay, you just said this like you're not gonna if the gameplay is ass, you're not gonna want to progress further into the story.
Yeah.
right.
So my take on that would be, if that's the case, are you telling me that not you in particular, but like just anybody, like are you telling me that you're gonna force yourself to play a game that's ass because the story is good? Like is that what we're gonna do? Because
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
so my thing is my spiel is I'm bringing myself in this one for a personal thing. When I was a kid, I fucking hate turn-based games. I thought they were trash.
Well,
I hated them. I know, hot take, massive hot take. I hated them.
This nigga ain't play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, bro. No, but like here, this is why I didn't like turn-based games. I hated the idea of.
I'm sorry. Go.
I actually didn't. I actually didn't when I was a
Keep
kid.
going.
I'm making up for lost time.
Keep
But
going,
anyway,
bro.
my thing is when I was a kid, I had the mindset of my character is right in front of my enemy. Why do I have to wait my turn to beat him when I can just walk up to him and beat him? Like that doesn't. I was impatient. I was really impatient back then.
Jump that nigga.
And then Persona changed my life. I played Persona 3 and I was like, oh, this game is actually really good. It is really fun. This like I enjoy it, but my thing is that I didn't play these turn-based games that had like fantastic stories. Like I know how you feel about Final Fantasy series for the title, which is I will say it's justified.
Hey man,
but
too many fantasies to be final.
There's he has a good point on that one. But some of gaming's best stories have came from turn-based RPGs. A lot of them that I omitted because I didn't like the concept of turn-based games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to force myself to play them just to understand the story. Especially nowadays, I don't need to do that. I can just go on YouTube. So that would be my argument on there is like, why would you, if you don't care about the gameplay, but you're going to force yourself to play the game to understand what's going on in the story, you don't have to do that anymore. Like that's just a waste of money. Like these games are fucking expensive nowadays. Like $70 is a lot of money.
Is crazy. Remember when
that's a lot of money.
Grip.
50 for a new game.
We said 50 was rough. Now, bro, like this is how bad it was. We said 50 was rough. What the new fucking Like a Dragon Gaiden game that's coming out? That shit's $50. I looked at that shit. I was like, that's actually pretty good. Like that's crazy.
Nigga.
I can say that.
That's a steal.
It's wild. I can say that.
Inflation's a motherfucker.
But it's like that's what I was saying because like I'm sitting there and I'm talking to her and I just remember all the games that I've tried to get her to play and she finally told me why she doesn't like them because like just the controls just don't compute in her head. I'm like, okay, then just watch the cutscenes, or if you really want to see the game played so badly and she has a boyfriend, just watch your boyfriend play it. If you must have the game, you don't have to touch it. You do not have to force yourself in 2023 to play a game that you either don't like or don't understand because you want to progress further in the story. So that just doesn't compute to me at all that she still wants to do that when you don't have to.
I think maybe from a casual's point of view, it's different because like you speak from the point of view of somebody who actually knows how to play video games and controls. Are meant to make sense in your head. Like you've been doing this, like competitively.
I have been about
You
this
figured
life.
out controls before, but meanwhile, she's already admitted that she's not there for the gameplay. So like the ideas behind the gameplay and the mechanics and things like that don't even compute to her. She's just like, oh, I want to get through the story. I want to why can't I mash buttons to get through the story? And it's like, this is why people like that are why they made like a assisted mode or whatever the fuck on dynamic mode, dynamic controls in games. Shout out to Street Fighter.
Modern control. This motherfucker playing modern controls.
Nah, you know they got they got dynamic controls.
Yeah, that's even easier. Yeah,
that shit's crazy. That shit will legit play the game for you.
You know, Tekken 8 special style.
That shit. I mean, didn't they do that in Tekken 7 too?
Yeah, but so I don't know why they're making
like
a big deal in this game. Like it was in the last game.
Like nobody's using that shit. So like, nobody that's not a scrub is using that shit.
If I catch someone doing that, I'm like, oh, I'm about to beat your ass.
Yeah, like, oh, you ass, I'm about to fuck you up.
Die.
You gotta die. Yep, you gotta go. Modern controls.
I guess in that sense, how you're explaining it, it makes a lot of sense because like the thing is, me and my two friends, both of them, love them to death. We clash all the time because their outlook on things are completely different than mine, and a lot of stuff that they are into, it just doesn't compute to me. Like it doesn't compute to me that there are legitimately people that only play Call of Duty for the story, when we know damn well that niggas be playing that game for the multiplayer or zombies. So when I hear people being like, "Oh, I just like the story and the characters," I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" Like,
two sides.
you know, Red Dead Redemption's right there. Bro,
facts. Play a story
like, you know,
game.
play a story-based game. Like, hey, you know, the Batman Telltale series is right there. That shit's pretty good. You can play that if you want to play an interactive game. You know, you don't gotta play Call of Duty. You want to play a story-based game, you ain't gotta. I'm just saying, man, that's $70 for just a story mode. You wasting your money, dog.
That's honestly real.
That's a mad commitment, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's
like
like
$70 to just play the story and never play it again. Because once you play through it, you're watching that joint on YouTube if you want to revisit the story.
Yeah, and their phases in the stuff is worse than mine because like they've only really been talking about this for the course of like 2 months, and already, because I've been in their house already, they got like purses designed off of like handbags designed off the characters. They got a plushie designed off of Ghost. They got
that's annoying.
TikTok videos, like, bro, it is like,
nah,
bro, like I'm pretty sure they want to cosplay as them now.
Wow.
They like to say hyperfixation. No, it's not. Like you motherfuckers have an obsession.
Same thing.
Man, I mean, it's the same thing, but I keep it a buck. All right, like you, like I'll be more derogatory about it. Like you want to be nice and say hyperfixation, you niggas are obsessed. Like
Fair enough. Fair enough.